It looks like a, from
What size
here,
is that?
This is 12.
from here it looks like a 3769.
No, it's got a curve. It's 3769 straight.
It's a lot straighter. This
It's a
is
stroke band. This has got a curve to it. I don't know if you can see the curve
Yeah,
in
slightly
the
curved.
curve in it.
Yeah, it's a slight curve.
And it's got a different, and the trouble with this hook is, I tried to get a bigger bead on there, but the bend is so tight, you can't get a bigger bead on it. It won't make the turn on the hook even with the taper in the back. So, it's kind of a weird deal. The other thing, I'm using 2 different sizes of thread with this, because I use this Danville's 210, this big fat stuff, for about half of it, because I want to build up a taper, and it builds up really fast. And then I'm going to switch over to regular 8.0 when I get done.
So what's the model number on that Daiichi?
So 1760.
1760. Okay.
So I'm going to use an 1/8 inch bead on this. And these things, if you look on that website, these things come in like 10 different colors they use. Red, black, and that cranberry are the most used.
Pack for the dinner. Get 250 Daiichi hooks. 10 packs.
Really?
10 pack, 2 packs of each side. 5 different sizes.
Okay.
Looks like a gold one.
That's a gold one, yeah. If you look, this one takes a gold bead. So, it's going to be a gold bead. We're going to use ice dub for the dubbing. We're going to use red holographic tinsel for the abdomen. A wire rib of silver. And then I'm using this, this is my favorite tinsel, this Mirage tinsel. See how bright that stuff is? That's for the back, and that's kind of what we use on Copper Johns too.
Large or what's this?
This is large, yeah. It comes in small, medium, and large. It's getting kind of hard to find. I don't know why. It's made by the same guys that make UTC wire, so but, there's quite a bit there. So I'm going to use some 20 thousandths lead. I'm going to put 6 wraps of lead.
Is that real lead or sled substitute?
No, real lead.
Free lead.
I've got like 10 lifetime supply of lead.
There's an article in California Fly Fisher that Jerry Brown is instituting a study to remove lead.
That's ridiculous, man. One shotgun shell probably put out more lead than we would use in a lifetime of fly fishing.
They don't use lead.
No, they don't anymore. But I can guarantee there's a lot of lead on the bottom of the marsh from when we used to shoot lead.
It's all steel.
Shoot
now.
ducks.
Yeah, only in the hunting, but the trap guys they still shoot.
Do they still shoot lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all steel for this.
You could probably switch to tungsten, okay, again.
Tail of this thing and the legs are made out of.
It's going to be pretty hard to out.
Tail of this thing and the legs are pheasant tail. And I'm using this heavy thread for right now. So I've got 8 or 10 fibers. They tie a pretty heavy tail and pretty heavy legs. I want a tail about half the length of the shank. And wrap it down to the barb. And I want to flatten my thread because I want to get a nice taper on this thing so that my tinsel's got a taper to it up to the. I'm going to taper it about the same size as the lead up front when I get done. So if you spin your bobbin counterclockwise, it'll flatten your thread. And I'm going to put in a wire rib here. And this is small silver UTC wire. No, it's okay, because see my scissors, there's a spot on them just made for cutting wire down the bottom. They're carbide, so but yeah, don't cut that stuff with the tips of your good scissors.
See, anybody's taking my class, they know exactly. Don't cut with the tips.
So that one's got a spot specifically made for it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tie this wire in kind of on my side, underneath on my side, and I want my thread flat. And I'm going to tie it down right to the tail. And then I'm going to take some of this holographic tinsel.
It's the scissors you know.
Okay, so got my wire, so I got, this is my tinsel, so I'm gonna put it in right at the back. I'm just gonna lock it in, kind of on an angle. And then I wanna get this as smooth as I can. So I'm gonna keep building my taper. And if you flatten your thread really good, and you got like Danville's, it's multi-stranded, you can take it and kind of wiggle it, and it kind of spreads it out. So it'll kind of fan your thread, so you don't get a big lump. And I'm going to bring my thread up onto the lead here. Now at this point, normally I'd take some super glue and I'll put some super glue on that thread before I wrap this stuff. Because I want it to hold up. So on Mylar, if you're using stuff that's gold on one side and silver on the other, I usually tie the side up that I don't want, because as I go around, I fold it over so I get the side I want. So if you leave the side up you want, you're going to get the opposite side usually. So bring this around.
This is red.
This is
red.
red.
Holographic.
So
Red
this doesn't make any difference on this one. So I want my kind of like touching wraps here. And super glue makes it a little easier. This stuff's slippery, so when I put super glue on it, it kind of locks it down a little bit.
I got a little bit here.
Nah, I've got some here. I like the brushable stuff too.
Yeah.
So I want this to come right up on top of my lid. And I'm just going to tie it off. By the time I do my rib, now you can go counterclockwise or clockwise, and this I just go same direction that I did my tinsel. Because when I get done with this, the body, I'll take super glue and put super glue on the body too. Those cutthroat, man, their teeth just rip the crap out of everything, so it's better to err on the side of more glue than not. So, tie my rib off, cut my wire off. At this point I'm going to would finish this, so take this thread off. So now I'm just going to go to my regular 8/0 thread. So here I'm going to tie in my shell back. If you want to get really fancy, you can epoxy this thing just like we do Copper Johns, or use the UV Cure stuff or something. Gives you a little more weight and a little more durability. But
I keep forgetting to bring that liquid fusion in to show you that.
is it a UV thing or?
No, it's just it's a quick drying. It's not
Really?
a two-part like epoxy.
Yeah, that'd be good. I keep resisting because I don't want to pay $40 for a light. But okay, so for the thorax of this thing, we're going to use this ice dub, which is not my favorite dubbing the dub, but it's kind of cool stuff. It's like dubbing steel wool.
Is it like a golden?
This is a golden. They call this one golden brown, but you know, if you go on that website, they've got like 12 colors.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the ones in there, but you know, you just do whatever. You don't have to follow that. So what I find with this stuff, I don't put it in a loop. I just get as tight as I can right at first, and then once I lock it on there, then I can spin it on my thread. And it's a little, it can be a little gnarly anyway. It doesn't matter. It kind of sticks out.
So what's your favorite color to use there?
This brown's pretty good. I mean, for the fly, the ones I use the most are black this red, and then they've got like a cranberry color. But I've got, you know, like I said, I've got purple ones and blue ones, and who knows, you know, fish are kind of dumb. I'm not sure, you know, and the thing is, at certain depths, certain colors disappear anyway. I mean, they change colors.
They all go to black.
Reds go to black at about 5 or 6 feet, so we're just doing this for ourselves, I think, you know. You're just getting a silhouette at like 10 feet deep, I would think, you know. Yeah, so, but, you know, it makes you feel better, gives you more confidence. So.
Everything looks blue and green when you're diving down.
Sure, yeah, so I don't know what the fish see, but anyway. So I've dubbed this into my threads right behind the bead, so the legs are going to be out of pheasant tail also. And I'm going to probably 6 or 8 on each side.
So what are they calling this fly?
It's called a Mahalo nymph.
So it's a takeoff on a copper john.
Yeah, basically, I think it is.
Takeoff on, I'm
Except
watching you tie this and I'm
Except it
thinking,
doesn't have buyout for the tail, you know. But yeah, that's basically what it is.
A Hawaiian tied it originally or something?
Who knows? These guys, they're trying to sell stuff, so. But they're catching a lot of fish on the thing, so you know. But Mitch is right. A copper john's probably a flashy copper john's probably gonna work as well. So I'm going to take a couple wraps right there. I kind of want the legs down a little bit if I can, so I tie them in a little bit long, and I kind of pull that pheasant tail until I get it to about half the body length or so. So then I'm going to take my other clump here on the other side, do the same thing. The pheasant tail's got kind of a natural curve to it, so I kind of like to have the curve going into the body if I can. Same thing, I'm just going to hold it here. Couple loose wraps. Get rid of this side. Pull them in, flip it off, pull this wing case over the top. I'm going to take like 2 wraps on top of it, and I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to take 2 more on top of that. This stuff's kind of slippery, where I cut it off. And I'm just going to build up a little collar here and then whip it off.
Now you said that you add super glue to this at one point.
Yeah,
At what point would you add it?
I added at 2 points. I added once I tie that mylar in, the holographic tinsel, then I brush on super glue on all over that thread underbody. And then I wrap that into it because it keeps it from slipping, and plus it makes it harder. And then when I get done with it like that, I'll take my super glue. I like this fishing glue. I don't know if you can.
hold it in front of the fly.
Can you see that? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Fishing glue.
Yeah, and the only place I can get it, I find it now at Bass Pro, but I use Zap-A-Gap too, but this stuff has a better pot life on it. You know, the Zap-A-Gap, when I open up the brush stuff, it's gone in a month if I don't use it. This stuff lasts quite a bit longer. I mean, it still gets thick, but I like it a little better. But that's the only place I can find it. It's made by this Carlson tackle company.
It's got a brush in it.
Got a brush in it. Yeah, it's waterproof, you know. So what I do is I just take this and I just basically go down the back and put a coat on there, and then that just gives you a little more toughness to it, and then it'll dry out.